Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices, and starting with the S&P, I want to go over two counts here on the daily chart here. So this particular count here is looking at this in terms of wave 3 here, an A wave here, an A and a B, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and 5 here for C of B, and then 5 down through to here. Okay, the other count is our older count where we have this here is the A wave here, the B wave here, the C wave here, the D wave here, the E wave here, and wave 4 here, and this is wave 1 here and wave 2 here. The only problem with this particular count here is that this particular correction in here is very complicated, and it's more a wave 2 doesn't normally be that complicated. Okay, it's not to say it's not, but it's just the fact that it is highlights that it may not be the case. So we need to be a little bit mindful of that scenario. But this particular count here is a real possibility, and we need to take it on board as such here. So the A wave here, an A and a B and a C wave coming into here. In both cases, we'll see the market should push higher. So we can look at pretty much being long above these highs here. Let's go in and have a closer look at Upsy Daisy. So this is the count here. Yeah, A wave here and the B wave over here, with this is an A and a B and a C here, and wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This does overlap this structure here. We can squeeze 5 waves out of this structure, so that's okay, but the fact that the wave 4 overlaps here is one negative against this particular count. But the important thing, I guess, is even though the wave count's not clear, that we have to take our signals. So this little move up here appears to be in 5 waves. So we'll look at this counter trend pulling back, the 61.8% of wave 1, and then we can look to move into this. We can move into this a little bit earlier as well. We'll have a closer look at that, but in a nutshell, we're looking for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, pretty close up, or to the 2800 here. 8 is a profit taking number, so we'll certainly see some type of correction in that area there. Okay, let's drill in here a little bit further. This is the same count, just different coloring here in terms of 1 and 2. So the thing I want to talk about here is this here. We don't need to wait for the top in this case. If we took between the top and the low here of 61.8% back up, then we can come in much lower, which would be roughly around here, but we'll leave that a little bit higher there for the time being. And let's just go into the hourly chart where it will flip back into this is wave, the other count here of having wave 2 here, and having 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1, an A and a B and a C back for wave 2. So we need to study this here a little bit. As you can see, I've brought that down to this particular high here. So we really want to be long or short based on this particular number here. That would be the safer trade at this particular point. So just moving into the tick chart here, 100 ticks, and we've got our low here, which would be wave 2 or wave 4, and we're looking at this as wave 1 to the upside now, and the 50-60% retracement level is here, which is on the 2700, which is nice. Just need to go over this here a little bit. So this correction here is pulled back into its right space here. this is not really showing me a nice impulse wave up here, as it's just showing me 1 and 2 and 3 here, and the market pulling back. So it's appearing to be a corrective pattern. So I'll go back to this structure here, and I'll have to say to myself, well, I can see 5 waves here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. You can take this 100 tick chart down into 5 ticks and figure these things out, but so it just seems to be that there's only 1, 2, 3 here. So this is likely to be a 4th wave here. So we can assume that the market can come down into this space here first before moving higher. And if that's the case, if it does drop down through here, then the thing to do would be to copy that and then bring that down into that space. It won't allow me to push it past the current price, but you get the idea there. And of course, you know, there's trend lines upon trend lines that you can put through to find better entries and so on. But I'll leave that up to you. The lower you go, the sort of higher the risk that is. The other point that I want to point out here too is that we can count a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here. So this impulse wave is quite valuable. But then I've got to look at the correction here. But this also here could count as 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here, well, 5 down to this point here. So it's possible that this whole first move down is just the A wave, then we go back up for a B wave, and then we go for a C wave back over here again. Okay, so a bit of a longer version of things. So just be mindful, you know, if something goes wrong, that's what it will be. We will only not use this count unless this low here gets taken out. So in a nutshell, long above this area here, or nice tested support on this area here. Let's have a quick look at the tech stocks in NASDAQ. So picking up from where we spoke about last time, I won't go into the bigger picture here, but we're pretty much sort of on the case here that we're looking at this as wave 3 here and wave 4. And even though we had a 5-wave structure ending in here, and we put this wave 5 here, you know, I wasn't happy about it, and then we pulled back into the 61.8%. So we'd only go short if that was breached down here. So this is moving up nicely now, so we can count 5 waves up to this point, and the 61.8% is down here a little bit lower. So there may be another move down here before moving up here as well. But if that's the case, then we can look at this market moving higher in 5 waves in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 at minimum here, because we can count this. If I just take a very conservative view here and just remove these here for a moment, and we'll put this no, I still got to use that, don't I? It's not going to work for me, so put that up here. I'll still put that there, same. Yep, that's okay. So let's, in line with the S&P, we'll count 5 waves up. So the 1 and the 2 here. So a nice support on the 7,000 would be the catalyst for a move to the upside here. And stocks like Twitter are sort of creeping higher, so they'll be part of those drivers that are moving it higher here. So we don't need that. We really need to put that up here. So a nice support on the 7,000 creates the long trade. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.